The Break Room. I'm Magnolia Applebottom.
And I'm Liz, and we're here today with
Terry Mansberger.
From the Lewes Historic Society.
It's Historic Terry.
Do exist.
He does exist.
So the Lewes Historical Society has 17 buildings here around Lewes. We're on our main campus where we have several buildings that are open to the public. You can come in and take a tour and talk to a docent and they'll explain the history of the buildings. We have the Sussex Tavern here that we've been talking about.
Cannot wait.
It's a recreation of the old tavern that used to be downtown Lewes in the late 1700s. We know all the old drinks, we found the recipes, so we bring those back to life here every weekend, or every week, Wednesday through Saturday, 10 until 6 p.m. We're standing in front of the old doctor's office. It actually was moved around quite a bit around Rehoboth area. It was found over towards Midway area. And it was moved, several doctors in town used it in the early to mid 1800s. So this is the old doctor's office. You can see in there some of the equipment they would have used. Dr. Burton was one of the doctors that used this house, or this office. He was part of the old quarantine station that they had here. And in the late 1800s, they built a quarantine station down where the ferry is today. They would have to check them out for illness. They were worried about diseases coming into Philadelphia and Lewes. So they would check out the boat. If anyone was sick, they would come off the boat and they'd have to stay at the quarantine station out there. And he was one of the doctors that tended to the sick. We do several walking tours here. You can find it on our website, historiclewes.org. We have a Legends tour, which gives you some of the local legends and ghost stories. We also do a paranormal tour, and some of those are done at midnight in the old house over there, the Burton Ingram house. It's also...
We're here.
We're home.
It's also one of the most haunted houses in Lewes.
Night vision and not on that thing.
So the story of this house was that there was, about 1798, there was a love triangle gone bad in town. There was a murder involved. Ever since that, whenever we take tours and we bring them in here and we tell the story of the Wilson Wiley murders, we pick up a spirit in here. And it's not a happy one, and we believe it is the husband of the triangle.
I ain't afraid of no ghosts.
There's been activity.
Now I'm sweating.
He comes and goes. We've also picked up a German U-boat sailor. We pick up a little girl's ghost in the tavern. We also do the first Friday of every month. We have what's called the First Friday Community Night. We have a history happy hour, so we have people that come do the period music, live music. We usually have a bonfire with extra storytelling and tours. So this thing that looks like a hamster wheel is actually a fishnet reel. And in those days, they fished a fish called the Menhaden fish, which is a bony, oily, nasty fish. They would use it for the oil, for lamps, and eventually they used it for fertilizer and other products. And we also do a shanty night the third Friday of every month, where you can come in and there'll be a bunch of drunken sailors and they'll teach you the old sailor songs and you can do a sing-along. Now, I did mean to put on my special hat that I only wear for special occasions.
Oh, we have a special hat.
And that made me think of Magnolia.
We do like a feather every now and then.
And the ship.
Yes, we love it. Oh, it's got a ship on it. Wow, that is cool.
We did have pirates in Lewes. That was a problem for a long time around in the 1600s.
Have like all of their drinks, and then you can also get they've just got like hard cider, they got dogfish here. So it's not just the drinks that they made, they got wine. They're all ready for us. We love that.
Shot.
Oh, and there's a little thing. Okay, cool.
That's your flight plan.
Our flights.
Little sampling. So these are the 3 punches that we do, the milk punch, the cherry bounce, and the sangaree. And then we have the grog, the sailor's drink, with rum. And we have the bittered sling, which is the old-fashioned whiskey drink.
Okay, well, let's test them out, Mags. Okay, let's start with grog, since that seems...
It's going to be the stronger.
Ain't that strong.
You're used to Rehoboth drinks.
Good.
That is actually very good. What was that again?
That's the grog.
Okay, that's rum.
Grog actually was created by Captain Vernon, who was a British captain. They used to pay the British sailors in rum as part of their monthly pay. Mm. They would get a pint of rum every day as part of their pay. Oh, not bad, huh?
I'll take payment in rum.
How did they work?
Well, that was the problem. So Captain Vernon, who was a British captain at the time, he decided his sailors were getting a little too relaxed and he wanted to stretch his rum supply. So he added water and lime juice, because scurvy was a problem, and sugar. And he wore a heavy coat made of Grogan cloth, so they called him Old Man Grog, and he was kind of a grump. So The drink became known as that old man grog drink or grog. The word cocktail comes from this time period as well. This was the very first cocktail in America. Cocktail had to do with a horse. When they were selling or buying a horse, if it wasn't a thoroughbred or purebred horse, you would cock the tail, meaning you cut some of the tail, hair off the end of the tail. So if I looked at the horse and it had a cocked tail, I knew I wasn't going to pay full price. Oh. So when they started adding things to the whiskey to make this bittered sling, a magazine editorial writer wrote an article in the magazine in New York and said, well, they're adding all these things to our whiskey and rum. These are no longer real drinks. This is a cocktail of a drink. And the name stuck. So after that, anytime you added something to a spirit, it became known as a cocktail, not a pure drink.
Huh. I feel so much smarter today.
Wednesday through Saturday, 10 a.m. to 6 p.m.
And you can
every
just
week.
Come, right? You don't have to do
It's free admission. You can go. All the buildings we went in are all open and free. The only thing you would pay for, of course, is the drinks. So you don't need a reservation. You can just come up. There's plenty of free parking, by the way, in Lewes, here around the tavern on 3rd Street and Ship Carpenter. A lot of folks come in here for happy hour and then go to one of the restaurants in Lewes.
Well, thank you so much for that tour. We had so much fun. The drinks were amazing.
Well, we'll call it Historic Lewes
Historic Lewes
Campus in downtown Lewes, Delaware.
That's a mouthful. So we are at Historic Lewes, right outside of downtown Lewes, or in downtown Lewes. So you can come in, you can learn a lot. I mean, we just learned a ton.
Yeah, I feel so much smarter. And I'm sorry I haven't been here sooner.
Yes.
It's a lot of fun.
So come on down, see Historic Terry.
Yes.
And again, our website is historiclewes.org.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for having us. It's a real treat. We classed it up just for you today. We're not at a bar, but we somehow ended up at a bar. Somehow ended up there anyway. But, you know, it's us.
We can't help
That's what we do.
It's the beach.
It is the beach. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm Magnolia Applebottom.
And I'm Liz.
I'm Terry.
We'll meet you in the break room, but we'll see you out and about.
Bye.
Bye.
That's a delayed reaction to the alarm system.
Cut that out. That was a ghost. I was like,